Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me tonight to this episode of Music with Nick. Today we got a marathon by GREYBEARD. Thank you, GREYBEARD, for sponsoring this marathon of the 70s. Let me just read what Eric sent me here, and let's see. So GREYBEARD says this marathon is a compilation of some great singer-songwriters from the 70s. These tracks are my top from each of these artists. So that's kind of cool to know that personally, Eric's favorite songs from these artists are those that we're gonna listen to. Now, the only one that was a little bit changed here was Gordon Lightfoot. The original request that Eric had was the Edmund Fitzgerald, the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. But I did that for some reason. Joe requested a marathon yesterday, and he requested that same song. So we're gonna change that one for Canadian Railroad Trilogy, which is, I'm sure, also very good. So we're going to start it off here for Eric with Jim Crow. He told me that it's not crows because it's like pronounced crow. It says, so Jim Crow, the track is Operator. That's not the way it feels. From the album Photographs, and the year of release is 1972. Oh my God, I can't read for some reason right now. Then we're gonna do some Harry Chapin, the song Taxi from the Heads and Tails album. Let's see, from 1972. Then we're gonna do Jackson Browne, Song for Adam from the self-titled, looks like. 1972, and the last one is going to be Gordon Lightfoot from Gord's Gold. This is from 1975, and this is called Canadian Railroad Trilogy. Like a tongue twister. And again, like I said in the other marathon, congratulations. Because on the 21st he'll be a subscriber for 2 years, and that's crazy that 2 years have passed so quickly. That's insane. But congratulations to everyone who has been with us that amount of time. Thank you so much, because I know that sometimes listening to the same person does get old. I do get it. Some people, leave, they drop off, come back. I've seen some people, disappear for like a couple of months, a year, and then they're back, and they're like, hey, I want to listen to some more reactions. So I get it. I'm the same way with channels. There's channels that I watch, and then there's channels that I leave, and then I go back, and that's just how it goes. All right, so give me just one moment. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, and I did have to take out Marley, so the introduction is done. I didn't want to start the songs and then take a break. I just want to take it all in. So I'm back with Beanie and everything. So here we go. All right, let's give it up for Jim Crow, Operator. Here we go.
Operator, could you help me place this call? See, the number on the matchbook is old and faded. She's living in LA with my best old ex-friend Ray. Gosh, she said she knew well and sometimes hated. Isn't that the way they say it goes? Well, let's forget all show. I've overcome the blow, I've learned to take it well. I only wish my words could just convince myself that it just wasn't real. But that's not the way it feels. Operator, but could you help me place this call? 'Cause I can't read the number that you just gave me. There's something in my eyes, you know it happens every time. I think about the love that I thought would save me. But isn't that the way they say it goes? Well, let's forget all that and give me the number if you can't find it, so I can call just to tell them I'm fine and to show I've overcome the blow. I've learned to take it well. I only wish my words could just convince myself that it just wasn't real. But that's not the way it feels. No, 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 no. That's not the way it feels. Operator, oh, let's forget about this call. There's no one there I really wanted to talk to. Thank you for your time. Oh, you've been so much more than kind. You can keep the dime.
I love the
Isn't
lyrics.
that the way they say it goes? Well, let's forget all that and give me the number if you can't find it, so I can call just to tell them I'm fine and to show I've overcome the blow. I've learned to take it well. I only wish my words could just convince myself that it just wasn't real. But that's not the way it feels.
I love it. Wow, wonderful. So sometimes it depends really on whatever the color is on the cover, and then that is displayed in the lyrics. And for example, here it's like this really bright red, which is, it helps, you know, to read. But what beautiful lyrics, you know. And just to think that just a couple of, I mean, yes, not a couple of, but yeah, 20, let's say 30 years 30 years ago, you couldn't really call someone just like now, you know. You could just like call anywhere in the world. You had to like still do it through some kind of operator, or then, you know, long distance. So times have changed so crazily. And but I love the song about, you know, this you know, I want to talk to these people because pretty much I think of a breakup, you know, and then it's like, no, you know, never mind, you know, I'm not gonna call. These people don't care. Or and then at the end he decides, yes, he does want to call. Like, really sweet, you know. And I just love folk music, you know. Songwriters, you know, like the music doesn't have to be so freaking complex to work, you know. It's just a nice story. I've talked about this before today when I did another marathon. I think it was NXS, sorry. I'm learning NXS, and it was like, you know, it wasn't not so much about the music, it was about the story, because there was a lot of looping and stuff like that. So it's like, it doesn't have to be like every time a progressive masterpiece, you know, with like hundreds of chords just in the intro, you know, like, so something like this is also very nice, you know, for a change. All right, so I definitely love this one. Also, my introduction, I've never heard him before, you know, reminds me of, you know, like James Taylor, stuff like that. Um, um, who's another good one? Bob Dylan, of course, but different style, you know. But yeah, just storytellers, you know, like Joni Mitchell. All right, so now Harry Chapin, that's another one I never heard before. Now, if I have, please let me know, but I don't remember the name, you know. I would have, it sounds so much like Chaplin, but I would have remembered. This is Taxi. Let's go. Now, this is a longer one, almost 7 minutes, so check it out. Oh, sorry.
It was raining hard in Frisco. I needed one more fare to make my night. A lady up ahead waved to flag me down. She got in at the light.
Nice. So he's the driver. Cool.
Oh, where you going to, my lady blue? It's a shame you ruined your gown in the rain. She just looked out the window. She said 16 Parkside Lane.
Oh, she doesn't want to talk. Okay, so these are like very, you know, lyrically heavy, so I'm gonna put the lyrics right here so I'm not staring like, you know, like I'm gonna, the camera's here and the lyrics are right there, so yeah. So it doesn't look like I'm not paying any attention. I like that he kind of like greeted her and she's just like, you know, just take me, you know. Let's see if they can get a conversation going.
Something about her was familiar. I could swear I seen her face before. But she said, I'm sure you're mistaken. And she didn't say anything more. It took a while, but she looked in the mirror. Then she glanced at the license for my name. A smile seemed to come to her slowly. It was a sad smile just the same. And she said, how are you, Harry? I said, how are you, Sue? Through the too many miles and the too little smiles, I still remember you.
Nice. I didn't expect that they already knew each other, and that's kind of cool. So because he was like, I know you, and then she kind of like didn't remember him, but then she looked on the tag. I love that was a thing back in the day too, that you could look up the driver's name, you know, and the license. And I think you can't. I mean, I think you can when you take an Uber or a Lyft, you know. But it's the service got so like, I remember when Uber was like a new thing, they would have water, you know, in the back, and they would ask you want to listen to some music, and would you like the air on, you know. Now they're just like, get in there. They don't even. Alexa gets so mad when she's like, hey, like, how's your like, good evening, and they're like, not even a response, and she's like, good evening. You know, and then they're like, whoa, she really means it, I guess, you know. I love her. Okay, let's go. Let's continue. I'm really intrigued to see what's going to happen.
It was somewhere in a fairy tale. I used to take her home in my car. We learned about love in the back of a Dodge. The lesson hadn't gone too far. You see, she was gonna be an actress, and I was gonna learn to fly. She took off to find the footlights. I took off to find the sky.
Very nice interplay.
drive the princess blind. There's a wild man wizard, he's hiding in me, illuminating my mind. Oh, I've got something inside me, not what my life's about, 'cause I've been letting my outside tide me over till my time
It changes.
runs out. There was not much more for us.
So yeah, I did not expect this. Like, I mean, the lyrics are amazing, but also the music is just beautiful. Like this whole guitar intro with the harmonics, and then I love the cello. That voice right now was beautiful. Like it's a whole adventure. This this song, like, and I love that because the cover of the album is yellow. The lyrics are like this, right? And they're all in this yellow cab color. So it's like, it's almost like I'm in the cab, you know? Really cool. All right, let's continue. This is really good. I mean, since I was so focused on the lyrics, I kind of like I stopped to pay attention, but I loved that there was like this nice instrumental part. Really beautiful.
Talk about whatever we had once was gone. So I turned my cab into the driveway, past the gate and the fine trim lawns. And she said, we must get together, but I knew it'd never be arranged. Then she handed me $20 for a $2.50 fare. She said, Harry, keep the change.
Huh.
Well, another man might have been angry, and another man might have been hurt, but another man never would let her go. I stashed the bill in my shirt, and she walked away in silence. It's strange how you never know, but we'd both gotten what we'd asked for such a long, long time ago. You see, she was gonna be an actress, and I was gonna learn to fly. She took off to find the footlights, I took off for the sky.
Okay, I'm gonna try something. Let me see if that works. But I guess I'm gonna have to wait for the next song. I would love to display the lyrics. Like, I mean, you know, right here. That would be kind of cool if you. I mean, let's see if that works. You know, like I'm gonna try and pull it off, but I do have to pause the video. But let's try. Let's try. Maybe it doesn't look good. You know, but yeah. Let's keep going. This is a story. So.
And here she's acting happy inside her handsome home. And me, I'm flying in my taxi, taking tips and getting stoned. I go flying so high when I'm stoned.
Yes. Awesome. I loved it. Very, very unique. Reminded me like of Billy Joel, you know, that kind of, you know, composition, a lot of words, and, you know, just really great music as well. Like I have to keep an eye on him. All right, so let's try something. Give me one moment, okay? All right, so it did work, but you know, it just doesn't look good. And it's like, I also, you know, I mean, it is my personal computer and I'm sharing a screen, and it's just like there's, you know, I don't want to be constantly like, what if I shared this? And, you know, not that I have anything to hide, but it's just like, you know, some things are private, and, oh, wow. Now I have like the whole screen as one. But you know, I think you understand. But now I don't know how to get back to like the Spotify the way I had it, the original outlay. But yeah, so I guess, you know, just for safety, you know, we are on the internet and anyone can watch this. I know you guys, I trust you. You know, if I would have my bank account, you know, but sometimes I do, you know, I'm like doing all sorts of stuff on the computer, and I just don't want to get into that. But, you know, it's just a little bit dangerous, you know, not that I don't trust you guys, but there's some people that I don't know that watch these videos, and, you know, at the subscriber count that we have, you know, it's just a little bit dangerous. So I rather do this when I share a video, you know, I'm just sharing whatever I watch on YouTube, but like sharing the entire screen, maybe not. Let's not do that. Okay, so let's now we're gonna do Jackson Browne, Song for Adam. Here we go. Let's pull up the okay, let's start that again. I'm sorry about that.
Adam was a friend of mine. I did not know him well. He was alone into his distance. He was deep into his well. I could guess what he was laughing at, but I couldn't really tell. Now the story's told that Adam jumped, but I'm thinking that he fell.
Okay.
Together we went traveling as we received the call. His destination India, and I had none at all. Well, I still remember laughing with our backs against the wall. So free of fear, we never thought that one of us might fall. I sit before my only candle, but it's so little light to find my way. Now the story unfolds before my candle, which is shorter every hour as it reaches for the day. Well, I feel just like a candle in a way. I guess I'll get there, but I wouldn't say for sure. When we parted, we were laughing still as our goodbyes were said, and I never heard from him again as each our lives we led, except for once in someone else's letter that I read, until I heard the sudden word that a friend of mine was dead. I sit before like a pilgrim sits beside the way. Now this journey appears before my candle as a song that's growing fainter. The harder I play, till I fear before I end I'll fade away. But I guess I'll get there, though I wouldn't say for sure.
Very beautiful, this whole thing.
Though Adam was a friend of mine, I did not know him long. And when I stood myself beside him, I never thought I was as strong. Still it seems he stopped his singing in the middle of his song. Well, I'm not the one to say I know, but I'm hoping he was wrong. I'm holding out my only candle, though it's so little light to find my way. Now this story's been laid beneath my candle, and it's shorter every hour as it reaches for the day. Yes, I feel just like a candle in a way. I hope I get there, but I'll never pray.
Wow, man, what a great song. Jesus. The music is so good, the lyrics are beautiful, and it's just a story that you can relate to. Like, was just remembering like friends when I was, just a kid. And when we moved, my parents and I, from Germany, like I had all these friends, but just for a little while, like this. And this one kid that I met, his name was Pepe. He was American though. I don't know why his name was Pepe. I think he was adopted. I think he was from some South American country, and his name was Pepe. But he was like, he only spoke English, and he taught me a lot of English because I didn't speak any Spanish. He didn't speak Spanish, so but we hit it off, and we were like such good friends. And he would come over, and at the time I had a Sega Mega Drive from Germany. I know the American version is Genesis, but I had the Mega Drive, and it didn't really run. It would run kind of like all messed up because the voltage was off. It needed 220 volts, and we only had 110, so it was. But yeah, we played, and he was a really cool guy, but we were only friends for like 4 or 5 months. And then he moved away. He moved back to the States, and I stayed in Mexico. And that has happened so many times with other friends, like this guy from Argentina who gave me amazing guitar lessons. He was like a virtuoso. He was only like 21 or something. And I don't know, I was like maybe 15 or something. And or 16, I just started, and he would play the most beautiful classical guitar, but he also played like all my guitar heroes like Yngwie Malmsteen, and he played like heavy metal, but he would play like all this amazing like classical guitar like Bach and Jorge Morel, but he was just an amazing guitar player. And he told me, hey, you should I'm gonna move to, where did he move? I think he moved to California, and he's like, you should come with me. And I didn't, have the guts to do it. I was too small. Like, I can't just move somewhere, at 16. Yeah. But what beautiful song, man. Really cool. a crazy story, you know, that he died, that he kind of like figured it out because of a letter that he read, you know, before the internet. I think that before the internet, life was so different. It's beautiful. I think it's got a lot's gonna change, you know, like especially right now, it's moving so quickly. It's scary, you know. It's like because like even Alexa and I, we're still old school, you know. We're like we know what CDs are, we know what cassettes are, we know what VHS tapes are, you know. And when we started, you know, dating, and I hate that word, but it's a thing. Basically you in German you say, or in Spanish, when we started going out, you know, that we still had like, you know, old like cell phones, you know, the ones where you have to like you know, press a to get a C, you know, and then we switched kind of like to the BlackBerry, and we didn't have internet. Yes, we did have internet, of course, and we would be like when she was home and I was home, we jump on, you know, Messenger, you know, and be like, hey, good night, and then, you know, send emojis. So yes, we had that since we started the internet. But we still met in person, you know. We didn't meet online. I could never do that. I don't know how it would feel to meet a person online and then see that person, you know, in real life. But I don't know. I'm just happy that I stumbled, you know, into her by accident, and we're still together, you know, almost 15 years later now. And I'm very, very blessed. Okay, so now this is the one that kind of like got changed. This is Canadian Railroad Trilogy, and this is also a longer one, so I'm gonna pull up the lyrics. But so far, beautiful, you know, beautiful marathon, great lyrics, great guitar playing, beautiful orchestration, you know, a lot of string instruments, you know. I just love, you know, like acoustic music, folk, you know. And yeah, this one was obviously a little bit sadder, but yeah, so far my favorite, I mean, they're all very good, you know. Taxi was a great, Operator. They're all, you know, songs to make you think a little bit, you know. They're thoughtful, which is nice, you know, a little bit of a change of pace. The other marathon that I did for Greybeard was Southern Rock, which was very interesting. I haven't posted it, but I already edited it, but there's ones that come before, you know. I have to respect that. Whenever you get your marathon, I work on that first, and then, you know, on the ones. But yeah, okay, here we go with Gordon Lightfoot, and Canadian Railroad Trilogy. There you go. Got the lyrics right there.
There was a time in this fair land when the railroad did not run, when the wild, majestic mountains stood alone against the sun. Long before the white man and long before the wheel, when the green, dark forest was too silent to be real. But time has no beginnings and the history has no bounds. As to this verdant country they came from all around. They sailed upon her waterways and they walked the forest tall, built the mines, the mills, and the factories for the good of us all. And when the young man's fancy had turned into the spring, the railroad men grew restless for to hear the hammers ring. And their minds were overflowing with the visions of their day, with many a fortune won and lost and many a debt to pay. For they looked in the future, and what did they see? They saw an iron road running from the sea to the sea, bringing the goods to a young growing Look away, said they, across this mighty land, from the eastern shore to the western strand. Bring the workers and bring up the rails. We gotta lay down the tracks and tear up the trails. Open their heart, let the lifeblood flow. Gotta get on our way, 'cause we're moving too slow. Bring in the workers and bring up the rails. We got.
I love this, you know, and I sometimes I go into my own head, you know, and I'm just like, wow, like, depending on where I am, you know, like could be here or in Germany or in Mexico, but I'm like, wow, who built this all, you know, all this stuff that we take for granted, it's just here. It's been here since we've been alive, but there's these people, you know, that we're like, okay, we're gonna build this, like something as crazy as a railroad, you know, like, or highways for miles and miles and miles, hours, days, that you can drive, you can go everywhere. And now it's even crazier. People like took it upon themselves, you know, to like photograph this entire structure on this planet, you know, like Google Earth, you know, every single road. I think I guess by now you can go everywhere. But I mean, just to build this whole, like, if you, any building that you look at, and there's some really nice architecture here in Denver, but like in Munich, you know, that's 2,000 years old or older, you know, stuff where you're like, wow, like, who's been here before, you know? This is where you know that you're so small, you're very insignificant. So it's wonderful. Really cool lyrics. I love this. So last time I listened to him, yesterday, so I thought, it's like, is he Irish? And I know he's Canadian, but he had like this, the R, you know, when he would pronounce the R, but it was also the tune. It sounded very Irish, like an Irish scale, you know, like an Irish tune. He was singing that. So I was like, and I asked the audience, like, is he like Irish? Is he doing this on purpose? He's not doing it here. He sounds more like, I don't know how Canadians sound, you know. Like I said, I've not really like been around too many Canadians, but I do know they have a different accent from the American accent, you know. But yeah, beautiful lyrics, beautiful. Just, I love that he can come up with stuff like that, because it's also before his time, way before his time, you know, when stuff like that was happening in the US or everywhere in the world, you know. Just you know, the whole everything, you know, like how everything was built, how suddenly we had power and electricity, and where that all that comes from, and or airplanes, you know, to move around, and everybody just like takes it for like, yeah, it just exists and you can do it. But this all took so many great minds, and it's just fascinating, you know. When we travel in a car, how many thousands of people have thought about every single thing. Like for a couple of like months ago when we were traveling, we were on these things, you know, I don't know what they're called, honestly. Imagine how ignorant I am. So you're in the airport, right? And then you can go on this tunnel, right? And the tunnel drives up to the airplane and docks. And I was like, do you know, and I was walking through it, and do you know that so many people have worked on this thing because it had air and heat, right? So if you're cold or if you're warm, and I was like, even like the floor that we're walking on, you know, that plastic, which is kind of like soft, like almost like a gum, kind of like all this thing is out of hundreds of companies built this thing for it to work. And not even to mention an airplane. You know how many people work on an airplane just to put it together? There's like hundreds and hundreds of companies, you know. And in the end, yes, they call it, you know, Lufthansa or whatever. But it's so baffling how everything works, how there's specific people that just work on this one piece, and this one piece gets put into the final product. It's crazy. Yeah. So this is like stuff that goes on in my head when the lyrics are like this, you know. So let's keep going.
Lay down the tracks and tear up the trails. Open your heart, let the lifeblood flow. Gotta get on our way, 'cause we're moving too slow. Get on our way, 'cause we're moving too slow. Behind the blue Rockies, the sun is declining. The stars, they come stealing.
Stars.
The close of the day. Across the wide prairie, our loved ones lie sleeping. Beyond the dark oceans, in a place far away. We are the navvies who work upon the railway, swinging our hammers in the bright blazing sun, living on stew and drinking bad whiskey, mending our backs till the long days are done. We are the navvies who work upon the railway, swinging our hammers in the bright blazing sun, laying down track and building the bridges, bending our backs till the railroad is done.
You can hear that it's like
So
parts.
over the mountains and over the plains, into the Muskegon, into the rain, up the St. Lawrence, all the way to Gaspé, swinging our hammers and drawing up bay, driving them in and tying them down, away to the bunkhouse and into the town. $1 a day and a place for my head, a drink to the living, a toast to the dead. Oh, the song of the future has been sung. Oh, the battles have been won. On the mountain tops we stand. Oh, the world at our command. We have opened up the soil with our teardrops and our toil. For there was a time in this fair land when the railroad did not run, when the wild majestic mountains stood alone against the sun. Long before the white man and long before the wheel, when the green dark forest was too silent to be real, when the green dark forest was too silent to be real, and many other dead men. Too silent to be real.
Wow, so cool. Exactly what I was talking about, the bridges, you know, and everything, buildings, and how many people like died, you know, doing this. And then he says for $1 a day, and then living on soup like stew and bad whiskey. Wow, crazy. I love it. Really cool. I love this. Very good idea. Thank you, Greybeard. Just makes you think, you know. Yeah, everything's there for a reason, and everybody, you know, so many people, thousands and millions of people have done so much for everyone, you know. So crazy. Well, this was wonderful. Thank you so much, Eric, for this wonderful experience. Very like, I mean, even though the lyrics were beautiful, the music also, you know, just, you know, acoustic guitar can be very, very romantic, and it's very fun to play, you know, just chords, you know, just simple chords. And, you know, you don't really have to get too technical at all to make wonderful music. So, but yeah, you do have to be able to, I mean, you can play instrumental acoustic music, yes, then you have to get a little bit more creative. But if you have great lyrics, you know, that's a plus, right? Let me know, of these 4 tracks, which one was your favorite? Which one did you know, which one made you think the most, you know, or which one did you just like, you know, the best? Let me know, comment below. And also, of course, you know, if you want to thank Greybeard for the selection, I thank him very, very much. And thank you guys, you know, for being here, for watching, for being, you know, I hope this is entertaining, you know, my little commentary, the stuff that goes on in my mind when I hear this music. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it. Thank you for liking the video, for subscribing to the channel. We just hit 89,000. I never thought I'd see the day, but yeah, I guess, you know, 100,000 is, you know, gonna happen maybe this year. I'm sure, like maybe by July or something. I don't know, but it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really cool. And we're trying to, you know, right now we've been through a lot with, you know, Alexa's dad, Alexa's grandma, my mom, you know, everybody has been kind of like sick, but we're getting good results, positive results. So thank you for your prayers. We appreciate it. And thank you so much for everything you do, for your comments, for your love, everything. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next video.